What is up, everybody? Good evening. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Indie stream. How is everyone tonight? What's up to the early comers to the stream? How are you? And what's up? Good stuff tonight. Hopefully you guys are ready for chill fun here on DSP Gaming. How is everyone? What is up? I actually adjusted the height of my chair slightly, and it feels a little more comfy now. But I don't know. I raised it a tiny bit because I always felt like my feet were just a little bit too close to the floor, if that makes sense. So I raised it a little bit. It feels a little bit better. But I mean, I have feet rests too that I use. But if I appear a little bit taller than usual, it's probably because I did that. Like, for example, I'm closer to the Level 1 podcast now than I was before because I upped my chair a little bit. I could adjust the camera, I guess, to try to, you know, adjust for that if it's a little awkward. How's everyone tonight? How y'all doing? What's going down? I could give you guys an update about what happened earlier today because many of you might want to know. Let's see who we got here tonight. We have Pizza Time, Emperor Ferbs, Cabal, High Canadian, Joseph is here, King Michael's here, Kevin is here, a Sue 30 SM2 enjoyer. I have no idea what that means. Apollo, what's up? Jade, how are you? Good evening. He says, I just want to say thank you for the last Call of Duty. I enjoy Call of Duty, but 7 is just too bad, and I hope 8 is better. I'll see you for Street Fighter on Wednesday. All right, Jade, thank you. Have a good night. Pepe, how are you? Laser Dim, Peanut Butter Stallion, Brian. Who else is here? D-Man is here. The Salmon Brigade is here. And Thigs. And then over on the kick side, we've got Rorico, The Bearded Tip, Auxiliary Anaprentic, whatever that means. Tear God, stepped out of the future. We have who do we have? Billy the Booer, DJ Trump. What else do we got? We Was Kings, Godly Santa, Eat Your Teeth. Who else is here? Most Tasteless. What's up, Daz Auto Chick? All right, so everyone, good evening. Welcome to the late stream, which is going to be chill fun with indie games here tonight on DSP Gaming. The first half of the stream, we're going to play some more of the Sharks and Minnows game that we checked out about a week ago. That game was pretty unique, right? Where you're trying to survive swimming 10 times across a pool, but half of it is trying to avoid a shark and eels and things in the pool, but without running out of stamina. The other half is you go into the back rooms of this, like, swimming center. I don't know what you want to call it, a gym, a YMCA, perhaps. I don't know, community center. And it's all, like, crazy mazes and puzzles and haunted stuff. I mean, so far I've died to a shark, an eel, a crab, a giant crab, a shrimp, a manta ray, and many other things, all aquatic creatures. Anglerfish killed us, ate us, right? So it's been pretty funny and pretty fun. Honestly, it's more entertaining than I ever thought it would be for an $8 game. So we're going to play more of that tonight. I don't know how long it is. We very well could beat it within the maybe hour we're going to check it out, okay? Then for the second half of tonight, we'll swap back over to Terminator 2D No Fate. We've already beaten it once, but the idea is to beat it again doing the alternate choice and see how the game changes and how the ending changes with the alternate choice. So we'll do that for the second half, and then that, you know, that'll be the night. It should be a good, chill, interesting, and relaxing evening here with indie games, okay? So no new indie games tonight. We're going to play the ones we played last week and we liked. But then tomorrow night, we will be checking out new indie games, okay? We'll actually see what new ones we want to check out from Steam. So that should be pretty fun. Okay, so earlier today, just to get everyone caught up, we did a little chill hangout called the DSP Morning Show. It was a good one today where we talked about various topics, including door dashing and spending too much money on delivery food, which is kind of interesting. We talked about there was like 3 or 4 topics we covered. It was just a big discussion. It really was. It was like a big discussion show that lasted about an hour. It was pretty good. During that discussion show, I got over $50 of support. I was like, oh, that's so nice of people to support so early. Then I played 3 hours of Call of Duty Black Ops 7. You ready for this? The best session of Black Ops 7, one of the best sessions of Call of Duty I've ever had. Every single game, I had a positive kill-death ratio, and most of the games, it was way in the positive, and I was at the top of the leaderboards. I had play of the game twice. no exaggeration, arguably, I hair in my mouth. Ugh, I hate when this happens. One of the best I've ever done. In fact, the only game that wasn't good was the very last game. The game was lagging, and it was very annoying. You can see people were teleporting, and I was trying to shoot them, and they, it wasn't registering. So the last game sucked. But the entire session, me dominating, kicking major ass, getting kill streaks, finished a challenge, got akimbo guns, all kinds of stuff. Amazing stream. You ready for this? I didn't even get $40 of support during that stream. No one was supporting. I think we got like maybe 2 to 3 people who sent super chats and like one sub. It was one of the least supported streams I've ever done. I'm not joking. And it was one of the best gameplays I've ever put out. So it was an amazing performance. No one cared. In fact, when I stopped playing Call of Duty and we started with DSP Tries It, I received $20. Yeah, I'm looking right now. Yeah, look at this. I stopped playing and there was $10, $20 when I stopped playing. So I basically give up totally 100%. I just don't care anymore about this game. I've now tried multiple times to make Call of Duty work. So all the complaints I had were invalid. First it was, oh, well, your setup sucks, your gameplay sucks, all this. Everything has been dramatically improved. I'm playing on keyboard and mouse. I'm kicking major ass. I'm dominating the leaderboards when I play. Positive kill death ratio all day. Destroying the opposition. People still don't support. I tap out. That's it. I'm done. I'm not going to listen to anyone else asking for it. Anyone who asks, the answer is no. I'm not playing it again. I'm not wasting my time. So there you go. That simple. Don't ask for Call of Duty Black Ops 7 again. The next time I'll be playing Call of Duty is when the new one comes out in the fall on Game Pass. I'll check it out then. I'm not wasting any more time. I actually like the game. I do like... Understandably, Black Ops 7 is not a good game. I think we can all agree there. But it's fun to watch me play it, right? Is it not? It's kind of cool to have this in the rotation as a multiplayer game. I think it was working, but I cannot keep playing this game if people come to just basically sit here, watch, and be toxic, because there's a lot of trolls come out when I play Call of Duty, but then almost no one supports the game. $50 of support before the game, $20 of support after the game, and almost nothing during 3 hours of gameplay. That's you're telling me through your actions, forget this game. So I will. Okay? That simple. No more Call of Duty Black Ops 7 this year. We'll wait till the next one comes out in the fall. Okay? So there we go. All right. Good stuff. Now we know. Now, tonight, as we chill and have a good time together, obviously one of the best things about Indies Night is that we get to play games that are lesser known. We get to play games that are silly, quick fun, not ultra serious, right? We can kind of mess around, have a good time. People really like Terminator, so I'm excited to play more of that tonight. And this Sharks and Minnows is a shockingly good game. Like, seriously, it was shockingly good. And I'm excited for tonight. I hope that you guys will hang out for the next couple of hours with me. And if you do, and you support tonight's stream, essentially what you're telling me is, we like this, more of the same. And then I'll do more of this kind of content of covering smaller scale indie games, doing, you know, shorter games that are only a few streams. I'm down for that. Totally 100%. In fact, we started doing that earlier last year, if you remember. We did do a lot of these kind of games, and then we got busy with other stuff and kind of stopped. But now I'd love to pick that up again. As long as you guys are here for it. Okay? So let's go. Let's get some support for the indies tonight. All right? No matter where you are watching, please support the stream tonight. Let's get it going. Who's going to be the first supporter of the night? Let's find out. All right, but in the meantime, what's on everyone's mind? King Michael wants to know, are the Wendy's chicken tenders still an option for DSP Tries It? They are. But, I mean, I just had chicken stuff today. I don't think if next week that would make sense. Probably people would want something different for next week. And the Wendy's chicken tenders are apparently a permanent addition to the menu now. They're not going to go away. So there's no real rush, you know, to do them. You can't tag me in the chat? Okay, here we go. Hold on. Now you can tag me in the chat. Here you are. Yeah, I know. Soaker says it's a shame you can't play what you want for some reason. We mean for some reason. I'm a streamer. My job is to stream to an audience, to entertain said audience, and the audience reciprocates with attendance, engagement, and support for the stream. I can play whatever I want, but I'll do it in my own time. I'm here to entertain you. And even if I'm having a great time with Call of Duty, if you're not, then that means that I'm not going to stream it anymore. That's called smart business. You know what I'm saying? This isn't my hobby hangout session where I'm just dicking around on the internet. This is my job. So I got to be sure that people are liking what I'm doing so that it will be successful. What's up, New Sleep Real Vibes? I've heard of this game, Risk of Rain. Never played that, and you're saying 2. Yeah, I don't know about it. I would consider it for a future stream. Is there any amount of money that could make me not play Sharks and Minnows tonight? No, because it's short. We're almost done with it. We already did 6 out of the 10 laps. I think we have to go to the back of the locker room again, do some more puzzles, and then you do the final laps and the game's over. So, no. KFC? No. I'm not interested in KFC. If I'm happy, doesn't the audience engage? No, not necessarily. Absolutely not. That's a pipe dream, and that's a very big rumor and or myth about streaming. Just because you are having a great time does not mean that will translate into your audience's enjoyment. There are many games that people have outright explained, probably fun to play, but not fun to watch someone play. Okay? I love JRPGs. Most of the time when I try to play a JRPG, it works 1 to 2 streams, and then everyone tells me it's insanely boring and no one shows up and no one supports it. There's nothing I can do about that. That's just, you know, that's just the nature of the beast being a streamer. I'm trying to entertain an audience. I can't just play whatever I want. I have to find something that I like, you like, and everyone has a good time watching me play. It's that simple. It's not the easiest thing. It's not. The only people who it's an easy time is someone who's virally popular, someone who already has an installed viewer base of tens of thousands of people. Literally, those people could sit there wiping their ass all day with toilet paper on stream, and they would be showered in adulation and support. And that's not every person. That's certainly not me. I've got to find things that work for the audience, you know? Huh? Tub says a lot of people are talking about Karen, C-A-R-I-N. What on earth is Karen? And Neo 3. Do you have plans on checking out either? I'm not playing Neo 3. But I don't know what C-A-R-I-N is. Karen?
Barely moving. I don't want to hear it.
I don't know. A game about Karens? Yes, a game about Karens. Did I see the Dragon Quest reviews are mediocre? That's not true. Here's the truth. People who love JRPGs are saying Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is great. Mainstream media like IGN and Game Informer are like, oh, it's a 7 out of 10. Yeah, guys, it's an old Dragon Quest game. They didn't change the plot. They didn't change the element. It's a game that's outdated by most means. It's like a classic that now they've updated the graphics and the gameplay elements so it plays like a modern game, but it's still an old game. They didn't rewrite the game from the ground up, but that's what it sounds like the reviewers were expecting. They were like, oh, you know, I don't get it. Why does this feel like an older game? Because it is stupid. It's an older game. This is a game from the 2000s, like 20 years ago. And they've updated it, which is a good thing. Makes it accessible to a new audience, but it doesn't mean it's going to blow away a modern audience. You know, this is not clear obscure. So people who actually like JRPGs are reviewing it very well and saying it's great. People who just don't understand what this product is are saying it's mediocre. So, hey, at least no one is saying it's bad. That's the truth. Is no one has said it sucks. So that's a good thing. Let's see here. Roy just did a $2 super chat and says, is Chimchar the new Snow Carl? No, Chimchar isn't nearly as annoying as how Snow Carl was. Chimchar is kind of like, he's kind of like, what are they, the guys in the balcony for the Muppets? You know what I'm saying? What are they? I forgot their names. The 2 guys that are up in the balcony that are always razzing and making fun of the Muppets. Guildenstern and whatever their name is. That's what he's like. He'll come in here and he'll try to contradict and he'll try to criticize, and then I just embarrass him, Stadler and Waldorf. That's what their names are. Oh, Guildenstern. Where did I get that from? Yeah, Stadler and Waldorf. That's exactly what he's like. He comes in and tries to drop some kind of insightful knowledge. And I'm like, no, stupid. That's what a detractor says because they made it up. Just because you believe it because you're dumb doesn't mean that it's truthful. And then I accept his money and I laugh at him. So, yeah. No, Snowcar was just obnoxious. So you're talking about Cairn? Cairn is the rock climbing game. I just talked about this, that it just came out on Thursday. And the people who played it said it's pretty darn good. Which I think, you know, from what I've heard, it's a very unique game. I don't know if it would translate into something this audience likes, but it seems completely unique. I would consider it. I would say probably not tomorrow night, because tomorrow night I'd like to play like smaller scale indies and stuff. Maybe maybe we could try some demos and stuff like that. But that game, if you want to see me play it Friday, I'm doing this marathon where we're going to be doing random games all day long. So why not maybe try it then if people really want it? I'll ask the audience. Maybe we'll do some polling on Friday during the marathon, and if it wins a poll, maybe we'll buy it and try it. Okay? Godly Santa says Space Marine 2 is on Game Pass. Okay. You mean Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2? I own it. I already played it. That's correct. Dragon Quest 7 may not work. I'm going to get it, and we're going to try it. If it works, great. If we do 1 or 2 streams and it's already dead, I mean, what can I do? I wanted to play Metaphors. That didn't work either. You know, what can I do? But I want to try. At least if it's a game that I really want to play for myself and enjoy, like Dragon Quest, I want to give it a try. Because I love JRPGs. I love Dragon Quest, and 7 is one I've never played. So I know I'm going to like it, but I don't know if the audience is going to care. What's up, stepdad? How you doing tonight, man? We'll probably hang out for about 10 more minutes, and then we'll start with Sharks and Minnows, everybody. And then after that, we'll do Terminator. How did the previous Dragon Quest playthroughs do? I haven't done that many, only because there really haven't been that many new Dragon Quest games since I've been a content creator. They really have kind of dragged their feet. They made a lot more in the past and barely made any new ones. Dragon Quest 11 actually did pretty well. Not always, not every stream, but it did pretty well. And it actually was an insanely long playthrough for me at the time. We played through the entire main quest and then went back and did the second quest. And it was just really good. Like, I had a ton of fun. Oh, Spedgy, thank you. Spedgy, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. It's a little close for comfort, but thank you, Spedgy, for the super chat. He says, T2, let's go. Yes, we will play more T2 in the second half of tonight's stream. We'll try to finish the game a second time and see whatever this new ending is. So, let's see what the Canadian conversion rate is. $10.23. Thank you, Spedgy. Thank you. Cool. What was that sound? Were you not looking at the screen? I was disturbed. You weren't? DJ Trump, no one has any idea what the hell you're talking about. It sounds disgusting, though. So keep it to yourself. Okay. I have no thoughts about Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble. I have not followed pro wrestling since WrestleMania of last year. I don't know anything about the current plot lines, and I don't care. Caterade is here tonight with a $5 super chat. How well did Persona 5 do? One day you should play Persona 5 Royale. So, Persona 5 was a weird and unique situation. For those who weren't around when the game was new, I'll explain. So, when it first came out, it was super hype. I had already played Persona 4 and 3, and people wanted to see me play the new one. Bought it, played it, was doing very well. Now, the weird thing about it was Atlas, which I don't know if they've changed since then, but Atlas was very bizarre. With this game, they outright came out with criteria that they shared with the world and said, when you're playing Persona 5, You can only play up to a certain point by a certain date. You can only show certain content. We don't want you to spoil this about the game and this. And I said, it's fine because I'm not a person who focuses only on one game and rushes through it. I'm someone who takes his time. Okay? So I literally did. I was taking my time with the game. I was balancing it with many other games. I was doing a really good job of basically staying in line with what Atlas had wanted. I was nearing the point where basically there was a cutoff. But the way that it had been explained was that eventually that cutoff would be removed and then be pushed forward. So basically, as long as I played the game at a certain pace, I should be able to keep playing it as a new playthrough or whatever and have no problems, right? All of a sudden, one day, I'm streaming and my stream gets shut down. I said, what? What happened? Atlas of Japan, not Atlas USA, who is responsible for this kind of stuff in the United States where I live, but Atlas of Japan hit me with a copyright strike for my Persona 5 playthrough. And I looked and I'm like, I am clearly within the parameters that they gave to be safe to stream and play this game on a video on YouTube. This is nonsense. So I actually reached out to Atlas USA and I said, what is going on? Because I haven't violated anything and I just got hit with a copyright strike. To which they contacted Atlas Japan, came back to me and literally apologized and said, we're very sorry. Atlas Japan is the parent company. And despite the fact they gave us all these criteria, they just hit you with a strike anyway, and we have no idea why, and they won't give us an answer. So dispute it, and within 2 weeks, it should be cleared up because they're not going to fight it. And I was like, well, this is nonsense. And that could you give me any kind of assurance that if I keep playing Persona 5, that I'm not going to have my channel shut down? And they said, no, we can't do that because we work for them, and they basically do whatever they want. And we don't even understand why they hit you with the strike because you didn't violate anything. So what I had to do was I had to freeze my Persona 5 playthrough for a year. I had to wait for everyone else on the internet to beat the game. Okay? Then a year later, literally the next summer, I resumed the playthrough and did the second half of the game and was able to get through it and didn't get any issues with copyright further. The problem was, because that happened, a lot of the, momentum for the playthrough died. So the playthrough actually was doing very well for its first half. Like, I remember, this is when I was still on Twitch, right? I was actually getting hype trains. People were competing who could gift the most subscriptions, who could do the biggest super chat during these streams. People were actually having a wild time. It was like a party atmosphere when I was playing Persona 5. And all that had to go away because Atlas Japan decided to hit me with a copyright strike for no reason. And then when I brought it back the next year, it didn't nearly have as much hype behind it, as much attendance, as much support, because people were like, we already saw other people play this, or we played it ourselves. There was nothing I could do about that. That was just a bad circumstance. To this day, I've gotten no explanation. No one understands it at all. Pretty stupid. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the question. So would I one day play Persona 5 Royale? Maybe. I don't see, at this point, everyone's played Persona 5. There's no spoilers to be had, right? So I'm not saying I wouldn't. I just don't know if anyone would want to see me actually do this again. Like, why would you want to see me play that insanely lengthy game again? At the time, Persona 5 was my longest playthrough of all time. Now that's become Baldur's Gate 3, but it was the longest game ever. Do you really want to see me play that again, even with additional content that would make it even longer? I don't know. I don't know if people would stand for that. All right, how about this? Let's go. Let's get our first support on Kick tonight. Let's get our first sub of the night. Let's get some kicks on Kick tonight. And let's get our first tip of the night via PayPal. Let's go. We got some super chats already, and I appreciate that very much. But let's get some support from the other viewers over there. There we go. The funniest part about this, right? This is a troll who thinks that paying me money is like sticking it to me. He says, Phil's lesbian haircut real, right? Like that's making fun of my haircut. What kind of a haircut does a lesbian typically get? A man's. So you're saying I have a man's haircut. You're right. I do. Thanks for the money, dummy. What an idiot. Watch him change his name now. oh, fuck. Oh, you gotta change my name now to something else trying to be insulting with 5-year-old humor. Here we go. Here we go. Yes, No Sleep Real Vibes, we almost never do dessert on DSP Tries It. If we do it, it's usually a part of a review of something else, only because, for example, DSP Tries It is usually supposed to be my meal, right? Let's say we decided to do crumble cookies, DSP Tries It. I would do it on the late stream. I would actually do that as like the end of the late stream. We end the gameplay early, and for the last 20 minutes, I would actually let's do taste test of 6 crumble cookies. And I would do that as the end of the day. I don't want to do that before dinner and spoil my dinner. I would just do it as a night thing, you see? I have never seen the Rome TV series. No, I have not. Is it good? Sounds good, Kabal. He says he started playing his first playthrough ever of Super Mario RPG on the Switch. That's the upgraded modern version. He says 2 stars in, enjoying it so far. It's a great game. It is. It's a great game. It's literally the predecessor to Clair Obscur. It's a turn-based RPG where every character plays a little different, has like individual builds that are not the same, and has the turn-based button pushes to both do extra combos, but also to like parry/dodge. Like, it's all in there. You could see this is where the idea was evolved to become Clair Obscur. Pretty awesome. Okay. All right, guys, I guess we're going to get set up to get started. Again, if you like indies and you've enjoyed these nights that we've been doing recently, please support tonight's stream. Particularly, it would be great to have a really strong stream tonight because earlier today, Black Ops 7 crashed and burned. And I give up at that point. Like, I've tried it so many times. It never works. People don't support it. So I'm done with Call of Duty. But it would be great to have a great night tonight to help with that, okay? Okay, let's get set up.